morning. Good morning, everyone from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to my friends in the U.S. It may be a strange time for you if you're in the U.S. because we did start daylight savings time this past Sunday here in parts of Australia. But hopefully you saw my notes to check the time, and you will find me here anytime now. Just giving people a minute to find me and jump on. Not all of the states in Australia adopt daylight savings time. Remember, there are really only 6 states and a couple of territories here in Australia. There's a couple of states in the U.S. that don't adopt daylight savings time. I lived in Arizona. That was one of them. But the vast majority do. The other strange thing to me here in Australia is that when states do adopt it, they don't always adopt it by the same amount of time. So we now have quite a few different times going on in Australia right now, and I don't try to wrap my head around it too much because I really only deal with things here in Melbourne and sometimes New South Wales, which is also on the same time zone, so they do the same daylight savings time. Anyhow, it's just one of those things that's a little different here in Australia to the US. So I'm going to go ahead and get started now. Hello, Trish. Thanks for being here today. And thanks for coming on Saturday. I had my World Card Making Day event, which was a great success, I think. It felt like a whole lot of chaos while it was going on, but people seemed to have a good time. So that's good. And if you've been following along with my blog this week, you've been seeing some of the things we've been doing. And I think there's... Well, let's see, I did 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think there's one more post about it tomorrow. No, maybe today was the last one. I'm sorry, I'm not keeping track very well. Anyhow, let's get started with some crafting. Today I'm going to be working with the Christmas Gleaming suite of products from the holiday catalog. So there is a bundle that has this Christmas Gleaming stamp set and the Gleaming Ornaments punch pack. And those punch out these 3 ornament stamps. And there is, of course, coordinating designer series paper. I may have showed you this when I first got it. It is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And it's... one side has these lovely copper foil accents on it. And the other side, I'll show you those in just a moment, is matte, but of course very pretty patterns. And the colors in this paper are Pretty Peacock and Night of Navy, and of course the copper, Mossy Meadow, and Very Vanilla. And I'll show you the other sides here. So there's this, I think that stripe is pretty. And there's this, that's kind of the same, that is the same pattern as this one that's done in the copper foil. Stars and that graphic pattern. This one's got stars. And here's not the same graphic pattern, but another graphic pattern in Mossy Meadow. Oh. Huh. And it looks like the same graphic pattern on the other side of this one. That's interesting. Okay. So, here is a card I made yesterday out of these. And it's a double Z fold card, and it stands up like that. And it's a double Z because there's one Z, or I'm sorry, here in Australia it's double Z. And there's another Z. So these are not particularly difficult to make once you have the measurements. And this one, I took the measurements from a tutorial someone had online, and I wasn't 100% happy with the measurements because there is a little overlap between the two folds here in the middle. It works fine. I'm going to use it and send it. But I have managed, since I made this one yesterday, to go back and rejigger the math and make better measurements. So for the one I make today, I'll be able to do that. So one of the things I wanted to point out is these ornaments are stamped in what do they call it? This copper, Celestial Copper Delicata ink, which is really, really pretty. The pattern is a little fine to show up on these dark so well, but if you ink it up really, really well, it works pretty good, pretty well. And then I use the 2 sentiments or 2 of the sentiments from this set in there. Anyhow, so I'm going to make another version of this card in different colors this time. I decided to use this Mossy Meadow and gold copper foil. And hi Karen and Carrie. And yeah, so this time I'm going to go through all of the steps with you because sometimes I pre-cut everything, and today I didn't because I thought maybe you'd like to see all of it. So we need an 11 centimeter by 7.5 centimeter panel of the Designer Series paper. And this is not my new trimmer. I have it ordered. It has not arrived. Monday was a holiday in New South Wales where the warehouse is. So as of yesterday, everything was still in picking, but I'm hoping it'll be picked and shipped today so that by next week I'll be able to show you the new trimmer. Okay, so I'll have the measurements at least for an A4 card, a metric card up for you when I do the blog post on this, probably either tomorrow or Friday. Yeah, so the base of my card is going to be Mossy Meadow. And that's a full sheet of A4 paper or letter if you're in the US, just cut in half. And then we score it at 15. Now make sure you have your scoring blade, not your cutting blade going there. 15 and 7.5. Sorry, I got my light in the way there. 7.5. There we go. Okay, so that's going to make my first Z. So you're going to fold that one like that, and that one like that, and that gets you a Z. And then for this one, for the second Z, the smaller Z, I'm going to do 8.5. Sorry, trying to make it so you guys can see, by here's a funny number, 23.4. 23, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have actually found that working in metric is actually easier than working in imperial, even though was used to imperial. So now we're going to score at on this side, and I'm flipping it around because I haven't measured quite right on there. 5.7. 5, 6, 7. And that gets me my second Z. So that is going to work like so. And going to find my bone folder. Here we go. And just crease these down nicely. So you can see this is, you're actually folding this in half, your card base, and then in half back again. So that's pretty easy to figure out. And this one's only tricky because, if we were going end to end, that would be easy. It would be the same length. And again, you would do half and half. But because we're having this equal border around when it's closed, you have to sort of figure it out a little more. So I'm just gonna, again, score these, and you can see it's not half. There we go. Okay, so that's gonna go like this, and this panel is gonna go like so. And I'm gonna put some gold foil on there, and I'm just kind of eyeballing that. Yeah, it's about 9, let's call it 9 centimeters. That's going to go on there. Hi, Gladys. And then I was trying to decide whether I should do the ornaments again or ornaments. And this is the holly from this set. And what I did was, let me see if I can get it so you can see it a little better. I stamped it in the delicata, the copper delicata again, and I tried the Mossy Meadow Stampin' blends, but they were a little bit dark, I felt. So I went with the Old Olive, and that's the Light Poppy Parade on the berries. So, yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe up there after we do some ornaments. We'll see. I'm going to do some ornaments regardless. I'll put that up there. And for this one, I chose to do the boulder pattern. And I think I'm going to do this one. So I'm trying to get lots of ink on there. So we get a good impression. Ooh, sparkly. And then what I found was, if I take a blender pen, I can, you see how the top of the bauble that usually would be filled in isn't on this one, or ornament. But I found that if I can pick up some ink, sorry, my light is being weird here, and I can use my blender pen to color it in. And as long as I have enough ink, it doesn't look, it matches the intensity. So that's cool because I like those to be filled in. See how far down to go here. Works really well. And the little hoop for the hanger. Yeah, I like that. And then you can just work it. It takes a little more work to scribble that off than the regular watercolor ink, but it does come out. So there's that one. I'm gonna let that dry for just a minute there. And then I'm gonna do the other one on very vanilla in, I wish there was a second image for this little one, but that's okay. Do that there. Clean that one. And now my punches. It is nice. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and color that one in too. Use the same. And again, I'm finding that with the blender pen, I can pick up that copper or whatever color Delicata ink and fill in these, the caps, the hanging caps on the ornaments or baubles that would be metallic. So I think that's nice. And I'm actually going to go ahead and fill in some of the design, I think. That'll help it, I think, have a little more standout quality. This won't take too long. What did you guys do for World Card Making Day? Did you have some time in your craft room, or let's see what else we should do here. Anything fun? Go to an event? I'm just coloring. This is fun though. And it's good to know we can do this. Almost finished. Okay, gonna call that good. Okay, let's go to this one. will say I've been glad that we're doing punches again at Christmas time, because they are so much faster for making lots of cards than using the dies. Let's see how we're looking here. Yeah, that really kind of blends in, doesn't it? I wonder if I need to redo that one on the... Let's try it. Sorry, more coloring. Okay. I think for this one, see how my marker is here. So I'm just using my Mossy Meadow marker to color in the center of these diamonds. This is what happens when you get to see the creative process in action. You get to sit through my coloring. Feel free to ask me questions. Tell me what you've been up to. Are you on school holidays here in Australia, doing stuff with your kids? Starting to enjoy fall, autumn if you're in the US? We had some gorgeous, gorgeous spring weather, and we're still having spring weather. It's just the cool and rainy kind the last couple days. We had a few days of summery type spring weather. Now, if I were mass producing these, I would not be doing the design where I had to do lots of coloring in. And I really only mass produce either for a special order, things like invitations, or Christmas. And even then I send out lots of different Christmas cards, but I might do multiples, and sometimes quite a few, but I can't do, 150 of the same thing unless it's, a wedding invitation, just because that's not why I got into making cards. I think that works better. Okay. Now, before I put it all together, I'm going to do some stamping on this panel. And I've taken both of these sentiments, Deck the Halls with Boughs of Holly and Be Jolly This Season, and I've lined them up and mounted them on the same block. And hopefully I will get them straight on here. Yep. So on, where'd my other one go? La 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 la. On this version of the card, because I was using Night of Navy for the panel, I've cut very vanilla panels to put in there. But since this one is already very vanilla, I'm just doing like so. And now the glue. Yeah, so that's about what we're having here, Gladys, is lows in the, probably the low 40s, and then highs. Yeah, that's right in the same range as we're having here. Right now, the past couple of days we've been cooler. We've been up about 59, 60 during the day, but that's because it's been gray and rainy. How straight or not can we be here? I like this pattern. I split this paper, a pack of this paper, with my team member because we both were talking about last year having had way too much paper left at the end of the season. But then I get paranoid that I'm going to run out before I've made everything that I want to. So I'm looking for things that use small pieces of paper at a time. But that works. And we'll put a couple of these on. And then I'm going to put this on. Remember, we only want glue on part of this. So I'm trying to get that all centered on there, like so. And then this panel will get glued down. Like so. Yeah, no, I like cooler temps. When it was warm over the weekend, my husband, he likes it warm, and he said, oh, can we open up? We'd been out walking, and I came back, and I was a little sweaty already. And I was like, oh, no, let's keep it cool in the house. So that's how that works. And that's just a regular A2 card. Well, that's a regular card size with that extra, and it stands up, and for me that's just enough to say happy holidays from the Hetkers, and boom, you're done. So should I make another card, or do we want to call it quits? You guys tell me. So there's one, and there's two. Same design, different colors. Yeah, maybe I'll call it quits there. It'll be another short one again this week. And I'll do some more, and I'll keep posting. So, yeah, I'd love to see what you guys are working on. If you're in the Melbourne area and want to come to one of my classes, I've got classes going next week. I've got Tuesday afternoon and Saturday afternoon. You can find all the details on my website, nancysniftynotes.com. And yeah, I've got a whole slew of Christmas themed classes coming up the next couple months, so you can find all of those. I will say that if you're interested in the Christmas countdown advent calendar, let me show you what I'm talking about here. That's this guy. If you are interested in doing this project here in Australia, at least, they are saying that this kit is low inventory. I have not heard yet whether once it's out of stock, they're going to get more in, or if that's it for the year. But if you think you want to come do this class with me, I'm offering it the week of November 26th. But if you think you want to do it either on your own or with me, I would get your order in to me or through the website ASAP. Because again, I don't know yet whether they're going to restock it or not. I'm offering it to do it like this. Obviously, you can change it up how you want. And then for a little extra money, if you want to, you can turn it around and you can decorate the other side with other paper. And I will provide you with numbers too, so you can count down for another event, or you can use it for storage. Some people have made it into embellishment storage. Yeah, kind of whatever you want to do on the other side. We're talking about being able to do it this way too, but I think that'll be hard. So I was thinking it'd be fun to use it as like a countdown to a holiday, as in a vacation, or countdown to a birthday, and I'd probably start then at 25 and go down to the big day down here, instead of counting up like we do with Advent. So anyhow, those are some thoughts on this, and let me know, like I said, if you want to do that with me. Yeah, otherwise I think that's the news that I have. Looking forward to getting my new trimmer and letting you know what's going on with that when I see you next. And have a great week. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.